Okay, so welcome to your bonus resolution, right? You've completed your investigation, so you have a good idea of what you owe. If you need to file taxes, things can be collected, now you're looking to settle your tax debt. Now, one thing is if you did file, it's fine that you have unfiled returns. You probably need to file those, otherwise you might be paying too much, or the IRS just might not want to deal with you. But let's assume that you owe everything that you owe, you agree with everything that you owe, and everything's filed. Now you're left with a balance. So what is the best way to deal with it? Well, despite what many people will tell you, an offer and compromise works only in certain situations. For a lot of people, the best way out of it is with a payment agreement that you can get online now. The IRS has done that. Look, you can call the IRS if you want to, but be prepared for a 2-hour hold time, and I'll give you some of those numbers to call if this online program isn't working. So this works great, and I want to show, so I am on the page right now of where we are. I'll put that page link in the box. And so this is where it is. All I did is search for online payment agreement in IRS, and this is what I got. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to apply as an individual, right? And so this is for really if you owe $50,000 or less, okay? And there's certain situations where you owe under $100,000, it's a lot, but for most people that get this program, their balance is usually under $20,000 or much. So in that case, you're going to be paying something like $200-300 a month, and that's really the best way out of here. And of course, right, what's a little nice is when you get that first-time penalty abatement to lower that. However, and I'm going to talk about that, but there's a reason why I talked about this first. The IRS won't grant you that first-time penalty abatement unless you have entered into an installment agreement or paid for it. Okay, and that's another thing too. If you've paid this, and maybe this is a few years ago, you paid for it, go get the first-time penalty abatement. You might be getting a check that you've sort of forgot about, so that's a great thing too. So that is what you're going to do. And so this is just a streamlined form, and it's going to be a standard form based on how much you owe. All right. Now, let me go through. And now, if you can't afford that amount, okay, I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. I just want to finish this up on how to get first-time penalty abatement. Here are some numbers. Here's some IRS contact numbers. The tax clinic at Georgia is kind enough to sort of consolidate for us. Okay, that's got everything. This is great because good luck finding these numbers on the IRS.gov. So unfortunately for us, when we're doing first-time penalty abatement, we call practitioner priority hotline. Now, as a U.S. taxpayer, you don't get that. We get it. It's a nice little benefit for us. We're able to get things done quicker. And here's the thing. Here's the number that you're going to call. Now, there's two different ones, and I'm going to recommend one over the other. You could call the tax helpline for individuals, 800-829-1040. But likely what's going to happen is that the first person you contact is going to transfer you to this department, collections, ACS for individuals. So this is where I would say call first, 800-829-7650. And when you get on the phone, you're going to say, I want to request first-time penalty abatement. So you want to know which year was the first year in which you had penalties. You want to know what those failure to pay, failure to file penalties are. Now, let's talk about how you deal with the IRS. Let's suppose, because they're supposed to do this, right? But just because the IRS is supposed to do something doesn't mean they do. Let's say that you get resistance. The person says, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to do that for you. And they may even say something like, you're not even in a payment arrangement. And you have to explain, yes, I am. That happens. If you feel like the conversation's not going your way, don't do one of these. Hey, you jerk. Just say, oh, wait. Connection's getting bad. I'll call you back. Then dial again till you get somebody reasonable. A lot of times that's how it works. If somebody's giving you a hard time, they're just not trained, they're having a bad day, somebody else will be more than happy to help you. So that's a really big tip right there. So get it? You know how to identify what we can get for first-time penalty abatement. Now we know how to call and get it. That's pretty good. Now, let's talk about what happens when, hey, look, there's a $200, $300, $400 amount payment. You can't swing it. Okay, well, now we're getting to the situation where we have to prove a limited ability to pay to the IRS. And I could really spend probably a week, 2 weeks, going through the various things that come up, and unfortunately, I would bore some people, and then the people that I'm going to tell the answer to, they're going to take too long. So guess what? There exists out there. IRSmedic.com is a blog I started in 2006. And I really think it's some of the best useful information that's in a language not the average person can understand, because you're above average, aren't you? But it's really, really great to find some things to think about things. This is the basic point I'll make. When you're looking for a limited ability to pay, you need to prove to the IRS that you have a limited ability to pay. No matter what you're going for, it could be an offer in compromise, it could be going for currently non-collectible status, or a partial payment installment agreement. What that comes down to is how well you could fill out. And many times, if you don't have a revenue officer, it's Form 433F for currently non-collectible, or it's Form 656 for an offer in compromise. Now, I'm on irsmedic.com, and I just went to my tag, and this is where I went. I went to tax strategies right here. This is where I went, okay? And then here's all the topics, okay? We do a lot of offshore stuff too. But we have things on installment agreements here, how Obamacare penalties, those are still going on. Maybe they'll go away, but how that could cause our problems. Some positive changes from the IRS here, what you need to know, some basics here, and some ideas of how to put yourself in control. So really great things. Go through. There's so much help here. This one is written by Tim Pepe, who's one of our staff members, and this is just a fantastic letter. Really trying to give you all the power that you need, and maybe this is something you could do yourself, or maybe it sort of puts it in the light of there's reasons why people hire us, right? So just go through this, and we have some stories on tax appeals, how to win tax appeals, and then even some things on some of the notices the IRS has. And again, that we do solicit feedback if there's information that you think is really missing. We are more than willing. If you're levied by the IRS, here's some negotiation. Here's some negotiations, right? Got a nice little video. We got a great YouTube channel with a bunch of people. So please use this. Now, some of this content is going to be going behind a paywall, probably in 6 months. As a purchaser, you'll always have access. Okay, so just be aware. So if you do share this link with someone else, and it's months down the road and they can't access it, meanwhile you can, just be aware that's what's going on. This is really some incredible content that I honestly should be charging money for. So with that, you are on your way. And if you are having some difficulties and you want to get the full total tax diagnosis, you can get that at any time, and the fee you paid will be applied to that. And then also, if you want a strategy session with somebody like Tim, we're more than happy to do that. And then at that point, if we decide, we can give you more of a specific strategies for you. We can lay out a couple different ones of you, some that you could do yourself, and then some maybe you would want us to do completely for you. So this is Anthony Parent for IRS Medic, and thank you so much, and best of luck.